Hi, today we are going to learn about graphing piecewise functions. Let's look at a problem. Simplify. Graph. The function is a of x is equal to 1 by 2x minus 3 when x is less than equal to 1 and negative x square plus 6x minus 8 when x is greater than 1. Now when we are graphing piecewise functions, this here x less than equal to 1 and x greater than 1 specifies the domain of the function. 1 by 2 x minus 3 is a linear function and negative x square plus 6x minus 8 is a quadratic function. So here the domain for this linear function will be less than equal to 1 and for the quadratic will be greater than 1. Means domain is the set of values which we input in the function to get some output. So since this function is like linear function, 1 by 2x minus 3 is defined for less than equal to 1. So we'll take the values for x only less than equal to 1, and for the quadratic function we'll take the values greater than 1. So I'll make two t-charts here. Let me name these functions. Let fx is equal to 1 by 2 times x minus 3, x less than equal to 1, and gx be the function negative x square plus 6x minus 8, x greater than 1. I'll make two t-charts here. One will be for x and fx, and one will be for x and gx. So for fx, let me assume the values I need less than equal to 1. So negative 1, 0, 1. And for gx it should be greater than 1. So I'll take 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So let us calculate the values. First of all, let me calculate when x is negative 1 for fx. Fx is equal to 1 by 2 times x minus 3. When x is negative 1, my f of minus 1 will be 1 by 2 times minus 1 minus 3, which is equal to minus 1 by 2 minus 3, which is equal to minus 1 by 2 can be written as minus 0.5 minus 3, which is negative 3.5. So at negative 1, we get the value negative 3.5. Similarly, we can calculate the values at 0 and 1, and the values we'll get will be for 0 it will be minus 3 and for 1 it will be negative 2.5. Now let us calculate the values of gx, or let me graph this first of all. Fx, negative 1, negative 3.5, 0, minus 3. Sorry, I graphed between 2 and 3. It will be between 3 and 4. Minus 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here. 0, minus 3 here. And 1, minus 2.5. So I can join these points in order to form a straight line. So this is the graph of fx. Now let's graph gx. My gx is minus x square plus 6x minus 8. So let me find gx at x equals 2. So g of 2 will be minus of 2 square plus 6 times 2 minus 8, which is minus 2 square is 4 plus 6 times 2 is 12 minus 8. Minus 4 plus 12 is 8 minus 8, which is 0. So at 2 we get the value as 0. Similarly, we can calculate the other values. For x is equal to 3, 4, 5 and 6. For x is equal to 3, we'll get 1. For x is equal to 4, we get 0. For x is equal to 5, we get negative 3. For x is equal to 6, we get negative 8. So let us plot these points. 2, 0, 3, 1, 4, 0, 5, negative 3, and 6, negative 8. So we can join these points together. This curve will be quadratic. This graph will be quadratic. I'm sorry, not curve. This graph will be quadratic. And you can just make a hole here. Sorry, the hole will not be here. It will be at -3. Let me join again. Why at -3? Since if you will calculate g of 1, x is greater than 1. If I take x as 1, my g of 1 will be negative 1 plus 6 minus 8, which is 5 minus 8, which is negative 3. And this point will not be included in the graph. So this will be a hole in the graph here. So we can say this is the graph of the quadratic function. And also we can draw a line here at x is equal to 1 since it is breaking the function. So this can be the standard graph for a of x. Next problem. Simplify graph u of x is equal to negative x square minus 2x plus 1 when x is less than negative 1 and minus 2x when x is greater than equal to negative 1. So let me take fx as negative x square minus 2x plus 1 when x is less than negative 1 and gx as negative 2x when x is greater than equal to negative 1. So we make T charts x fx and x gx. So for fx, I'll assume the x values as negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5 since they have to be less than negative 1. And for gx, let me say minus 1, 0, 1 since they have to be greater than equal to negative 1. Since x is equal to negative 1 is dividing this function, so let me draw a fence or a line at x is equal to negative 1. So let's calculate the values now. Fx is equal to minus x square minus 2x plus 1. Let me say x is negative 2. So f of negative 2 will be minus of minus 2 squared minus 2 times minus 2 plus 1 minus negative 2 squared is 4. Negative 2 times negative 2 is plus 4 plus 1 minus 4 plus 4 is 0 plus 1 which is 1. So we get the value as 1 at negative 2. Similarly, we can calculate other values. At negative 3, we will get negative 2. At negative 4 it's negative 7, and at negative 5 it's negative 14. So first of all, let's graph fx. Negative 2, 1. Negative 3, negative 2. Negative 4, negative 7. And negative 5, negative 14. So it will be somewhere down, let's assume here on the graph, since I have y points still negative 10 only here. And let me see what value will it equal if x was negative 1. F of minus 1 minus of minus 1 square minus 2 times minus 1 plus 1 minus 1 plus 2 plus 1 1 plus 1, that's 2. So here this point we will not include in this graph. So we can draw the curve now, graph. So this is the graph of fx. Now we can graph gx. Negative 1, 0, 1 are the points. So g of minus 1 is minus 2 times minus 1, that's plus 2. 0, 0. When x is 1, it will be minus 2. So negative 1, 2. Now this point negative 1, 2 was not included in fx but will be included in gx. So let me fill this circle here. 0, 0 and 1, negative 2. So let me draw a straight line joining these points. So this will be a graph of gx and this is for fx. Remember, this is a whole for fx. Next problem. Simplify. Graph wx is equal to negative 3x square plus 1 when x is less than equal to 0 and negative 3x square plus 6x minus 2 when x is greater than 0. So let us take fx as negative 3x square plus 1 when x is less than equal to 0 and gx be the function negative 3x square plus 6x minus 2 when x is greater than 0. Since 0 is the dividing point, so I'll graph x is equal to 0, which is the y-axis. Okay, so let's create the t-charts. X, fx, x, gx. Let me take 0, negative 1 and negative 2 for fx, since they need to be less than equal to 0. And for gx, let me take 1, 2 and 3, since they need to be greater than 0. So fx is negative 3x square plus 1. If x is 0, f of 0 will be negative 3 times 0 squared plus 1, which is negative 3 times 0 plus 1, 0 plus 1, which is 1. Similarly, at negative 1 it will be negative 2 and at negative 2 it will be negative 11. So let us graph this 0, 1, negative 1, negative 2 and negative 2, negative 11. Let me say negative 11 is here. So this is the graph for fx. Now let us graph gx. My gx is minus 3x square plus 6x minus 2. If x is 1, my g of 1 will be negative 3 times 1 square plus 6 times 1 minus 2, which is minus 3 plus 6 minus 2, 3 minus 2, which is 1. So at 1 it will be 1, at 2 it will be minus 2, and at 3 it will be minus 11. Let me find what it will be if it is 0. G of 0 will be negative 3 times 0 square plus 6 times 0 minus 2, which will be minus 2. So I can make a hole here, 1 comma 1, 2 comma negative 2, and 3 comma negative 11. Joining the points. Let me draw again. So this is gx. I hope you can practice more problems on graphing piecewise functions now. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye bye.